Alright, welcome back everyone. Evan has been upstairs working on getting all the boards that we tore off last week out of the way so we can start tearing up the floor. And I've been out here working on finishing up getting the water line buried in or prepared for burying. I've got it run out there to the well house. So that's what we're starting with today. And don't forget to watch last week's video if you're interested in winning one of these hats. Going to be giving one away. I'll be announcing that next week. So be sure to go watch that video to see how to get entered into that. And I will be announcing that in the description of next week's video. So when that comes out, be sure to read through that description for the username. And if it's you, then we'll need to get in touch so we can get you your hat. So be sure to check that out, get entered, and follow along this week and see what we got going. So here we go. So Evan has been really busy up here. He's got maybe half of the floor pulled up. This is still the ceiling above the bathroom area. But as you can see, all the mess that's in there, we decided to wait, instead of dumping that on our heads, that we'll just knock it down from up here, and then that'll be all done. But he's got this whole side done, and then that dormer and that section. So he's got just this little bit here left in the middle to get tore out. But we're getting there. It's really opening this thing up, and it's kind of an interesting way to see it after the way I've seen it my whole life. So gives us an idea of how much space there is up here, and then maybe what we can do. We might, not sure yet, but we might just push these walls out just a little bit. I mean, they're pretty short anyway, but just to give just a little bit extra square footage up here, because the plan is, I believe, is that beds are going to go up against these walls here. So they don't really need to be too tall if you're just sleeping under it. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens when we get there. All right, so now that the dust has settled, we can see what's going on up here. Check this out. All gone. Sorry if I'm spinning too fast. But here's the interesting thing, is now you can really see those joists across there, how much sag there is in them. All right, so one thing that I know up here is that across the top of this wall is the fixed elevation, I guess. So when I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but these joists on this side run downhill this way, and those joists on that side run downhill that way. And so what that tells me is that this center wall stayed more secure than the exterior walls as they settled over the years, I think. I think that's what it tells me. That's what I'm going with anyway. But what I need to do is make sure that all of these across here are in the same plane, in the same elevation. And same thing across back to this side. And so what I'm going to do is I have this laser set up here, and so I'll take a tape measure, and you can see that one is 2 1/4, 2 3/8, kind of depending on where you go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out across these joists and measure the tops of them so I can figure out kind of what the how far off we are on level going across there is what I need to know. So then when I come back in here with new joist, I can raise or lower them, whatever I need to do. I need to know where the highest one is because I don't want to go any higher than that because we don't want to run out of headroom. I'd rather lose a couple of inches downstairs than upstairs. So I need to figure out where the highest one is, and then as I bring in my new joist, match them with that one. So I'm going to go out there and measure these out and see what it looks like. Okay, so it's a little hard to see, but this one is about 2 1/8 of an inch, which means that this joist sits about a 1/4 inch higher than that down there. So the lower the number that I have on the measurement, the higher the joist is. So I'm looking for the lowest number to tell me which one is in the highest elevation. So this one here is at 1 5/8. This one is at 1 1/2. They seem to be going uphill just a little bit. This one is right at 1 inch. This one is 1 1/4 inch, looks like. So far, this one right here is the high one. So it looks like that this one, and I'm pretty sure it was that one of those two. I'll have to measure again later, but I was just trying to get an idea so I would know. But those two are the high ones. So when I start bringing in the new joist, I'll bring them in and they'll actually sit. I'm just going to bring them in next to these and nail them on. I'll probably pull off all of these little scab boards off of there and put my new joist on the sides here. I'm planning to do 2x10s. At least that's my goal. And that will give me the opportunity to completely cover up that 2x6 that's across there. So what I'm thinking is, if we're a little high here and it hangs down a little low here, then where these sag in the middle, it might end up that the bottoms of them line up, and then over, that 2x10 will be up over the sag. I'm exaggerating a little bit. I think it might actually be that high, and then as we come over, I'm not sure what it does over there. These might actually be a little bit low. So the plan would be to cover both the top and bottom with the 2x10. So the old joist I'm going to leave because they're still strong. They're oak, they've hardened, and they're holding the weight. And if I add a 2x10 next to them and put some metal brackets to hold them in place, that will make it twice as strong. And it will also flatten out this floor up here, and it will flatten the ceiling down below. And that will make a nice smooth floor and a nice smooth ceiling, and we'll be ready to get going. So that's the plan. It may be next week before I get to that, but I wanted to at least see kind of where I'm at and figure out how many joists I'm going to need. So that's where we're at. Okay, well, as you can see, I am not in the farmhouse. I am in my garage. I was supposed to go to the farmhouse today and fill in all the ditches, the trenches from where we put in the electrical and the water lines. And we had rain all last night and all this morning, so it wouldn't have done me very well to drive down there. So I only did it with 2 days down at the house this week, and that's all I'm going to get because I'm leaving tomorrow to head to Nashville with my wife for her business. If you've been following along for a while, you know that we did a conference a couple of months ago where she took her t-shirts and all the things that she makes, and we set up a booth and she sold at a homeschool conference. So this time we're going to a Christian music conference in Nashville, and so all these totes behind me and on the shelf, all this is stuff that she's designed and sells. And so we will be loading up a trailer tomorrow morning and heading out. Actually, by the time this uploads, we'll already be in Nashville. So it's going to put a delay on the house. I don't know if I'm going to get any time at the house next week. So we will have to see what that looks like. Stay tuned. I will still be announcing the winner of the hat giveaway from last week. So be sure to be looking for that next week. That will be in the description of next week's video. So keep following along. I hope you all have a great weekend and a great